Okay, I have completely forgotten how to do this. I just had to leave the room and belt out a Mitski song to get all of my freaking out energy out. I don't think it worked, but here we are. So, hi, my name is Rowan, and a lot has changed in my life in the 5-ish months since I was here last. Oh my god. But that's not what I'm here to talk about today. Today I'm here to talk about the passing of time and the fear of not having enough of it, the anxiety that comes with feeling like you're wasting your time and spending your time on the wrong things. Basically, wasting your life away doing things that you don't care about and don't really want to do because you keep getting distracted and your focus goes to things that don't really matter but are demanding your attention.
Yeah.
So, recently I've been thinking a lot about time and also death, but maybe we'll get into that later. Or maybe that's another video. So recently I've been having a lot of anxiety and frustration about time and what I've been spending my time on, where my focus and attention and energy goes, and not feeling satisfied with the things that my focus and attention and energy are going to. I have been finding myself getting almost constantly and consistently distracted by things that I don't really care about and don't really want to be thinking about and doing. An example might be picking up my phone just because I need the stimulation. My brain is craving it because I've been feeling depressed recently. So it's sort of like the depression is a trigger for the distraction, but the distraction is also feeding the depression because I'm really not feeling good about the amount of distraction that I've been dealing with recently. So I just keep on picking up my phone when I don't really have a reason to. There is nothing on my mind that I really want to be looking at on my phone or doing, and I just end up scrolling on Instagram or watching silly little YouTube videos during times when I would really rather be doing something else or intend to do something else consciously. Like I have a to-do list and I have something I want to be doing, but I pick up my phone and I get sucked in and I get stuck. And I've been finding myself really concerned about the lack of time that I am spending on things I care about and things I really want to do. I bought myself my first guitar back in December, almost 2 months ago. Guess how many times I've picked up that guitar? I don't even want to tell you. I don't even want to tell you because I'm embarrassed, I'm disappointed, I'm ashamed. And so I'm not going to tell you, but it's not very many times. So there's practicing guitar, there's writing, there's working on any number of creative projects that I have in my head that have been just marinating and waiting to actually be brought to fruition, and I'm not doing any of them. I'm on my fucking phone. So at any given time, there's a pretty long list of things that I would rather be doing that I actually care about. And more than just the fact that it's taking up my time and my energy and it's cluttering up my brain and taking up very precious space, it's also very negatively impacting me physically. I have fibromyalgia and a lack of movement and staying in one position for a long time, particularly like this. It's not good. It's not good for my body, and I'm feeling it. I mean, my whole body is in so much pain all the time. My back, my shoulders, my elbows, my wrists, my hands, like it all hurts so much. And I need to stop. I need to put down the phone. So, for many reasons, the things I've been spending my time on recently and getting distracted and sucked in by when I don't really want to be are bad for me. The main one among them is that it is taking up so much of my time and it is distressing me. It's really, really getting to me. So much so, I had a dream recently that I was dying. And I didn't feel physically like I was dying, but I knew I was dying. And I knew exactly how much time I had left. I remember feeling really panicked about the limited time I had left and feeling like it was really, really important that I do certain things before I ran out of time. Just being really upset by the fact that I had this limit on my time and there were things I wanted to do that were important to me. In the dream, I found it important to like film a video for somebody, like just a personal video for somebody in my life. And I intended the video to be like 5 minutes long. I kept getting interrupted while I was trying to film this video. I only wanted 5 minutes. I only wanted to make it 5 minutes long. And like around the 2-minute mark, every time I would get interrupted by somebody who in my waking life, I try not to give too much of my time and attention to. And I remember feeling so frustrated and so upset, angry even, that I kept getting interrupted. I was so concerned about having enough time left to finish making this video with, once again, the very limited time I had. Now tell me that's not a manifestation of all of the stress and frustration I've been having in my waking life about time and where my time is going. I've been so upset about it, it actually manifested itself into a stress dream about having a very real, like literal concrete limit on my time. And you know what? The idea of time and the limitations that we have around time, or perceived limitations, and I'll talk about that in a minute, it's stealing my joy. It is taking away any joy I can derive from the present moment because I'm so worried about what I have to do next, how much time I have until I have to do that thing, how much time I have left in this present moment. And I don't want to think about time so much anymore. Like, I just want to stop thinking about time. Now, this stress about time is not a new thing to me. Yes, I've been dealing with it heavily recently, but this has been a long struggle of mine. And I'm sure a lot of people too. And maybe we don't all think about it on a regular basis, consciously at least, but I think it's something we can all relate to. There was a time not that long ago, actually, that I remember having these stresses about time and the lack I felt I had of it. And I decided that I didn't want to feel that way. I didn't want to be constantly concerned with the limits I felt I had on my time. I decided to change the way I thought about time. Now, if you're somebody who doesn't believe in like affirmations and doesn't think that they work or do anything, this is gonna sound like a bunch of woo-woo bullshit to you. And I see you, I welcome you, I honor your experience and your perspective. All I ask is just to keep an open mind. So I started really small. Whenever I would feel the anxiety rising in my body and the feeling of needing to rush through whatever I was doing, I would stop for just a moment and be still and breathe and say, I have all the time I need. And let me tell you, it always made me feel a little better. It always made me feel like I could slow down just a little bit. And that was all that mattered. I just needed to slow down a little bit. I needed to start somewhere. So I would say this affirmation to myself every time I felt that anxiety rising. The next step from there was to start living my life as if I had all the time I needed. And I started putting that into practice in little ways. Like, for a while at that time, I hadn't even been journaling regularly, which was like a very regular thing almost daily for me before that. I just didn't feel like I had the time for it. And I started journaling in like the voice memo app on my phone. instead of writing in my journal, and that still counts. Like, it still does the job. It still helps you talk through your feelings and get things out of your head and into physical reality, which I feel like is the point of journaling. I found that for a period of time, I was doing that instead of writing in my journal because it felt like a time saver. I could get the words out verbally faster than writing them down and thinking about them. And once I realized that, I was like, okay, this whole time thing for me right now is not healthy. And it may seem like a really small thing to some people that, I switched to voice memo journaling instead of writing in my journal. I was still journaling. What's the big deal? But like, I want it to be like a slowing down, a meditative practice, a self-care practice. And if you ask me, rushing through a self-care practice doesn't feel like it gives all the benefits of self-care. Like, I don't think I'm getting as much out of word vomiting into a voice memo for 10 to 15 minutes as opposed to sitting down with my journal for maybe 45 minutes to an hour and actually diving deep and taking pauses to think and feel through things. That slowing down feels to me like a lot more beneficial in the long run. So all that to say, that's an example of where I felt like I was rushing and not taking my time and not acting as if I have all the time I need. I was actually very much acting like I was severely limited on time, that I couldn't even give myself the time and space to feel through everything for 45 minutes. So the first thing that I did to start living as if I had all the time I needed was to actually sit down with my journal for the first time in like a month or so. Not look at my phone, not check the time, not worry about how much time I had left. I mean, those worries are going to come up, but not indulging them by giving into the impulse to pick up my phone and look at what time it was. And for a little while, I felt like that was really benefiting me. I actually genuinely started to feel like I had more time when I consistently affirmed to myself, I have all the time I need. Physically slowing down, like doing whatever it was I was doing without any rush whatsoever. When I tell you I literally felt like I had more time, it's like time was actually added to my day. And I don't know how to explain to you why that works or how it works, but it does. And somehow the stress got a hold of me again. I fell off of those practices. I fell out of those habits and started to worry a whole lot about time again. Now I'm feeling like I really need to get back to that because I don't want to live like this. I don't want to live as if there is a limit on my time. And yes, there is a finite amount of time in a day, but I don't think I always need to live my days as if I need to move as quickly as I possibly can to get everything done in a day that I want to or even need to. I want to live my days as if I can move slowly. I can take my time and I can still accomplish the things that are important. I don't think that the way I've been living and the way a lot of us live is sustainable. I don't think that it is healthy for us long term to be constantly rushing and constantly worrying about how much time we have. And that may be the way that our society functions and the way people do things generally, but I don't want to do things that way. I don't want to fall into that trap. I hear people all the time talking about how they don't have enough time for the things they care about and like and want to do, and how they're always rushing around and there's not enough hours in the day. And at this point in my life, I'm really strongly feeling like I don't want any part of that. And I know a lot of us don't want any part of that, but probably a lot of us feel like there is no other option and we have no choice but to participate. And I don't know, I think I really want to try not participating. Anyway, this felt like a hugely rambly and nonsense video. I wish I had something to share at the end of all of this about what I think we can do about these worries, these fears and anxieties and frustrations. I don't. I'm still figuring it out. Surely I will report back when I have more experience and perspective and information to share. But I don't know, I think sometimes it's important to share these things when it's fresh and when you don't have all the answers yet, because that is a large chunk of how we spend our lives, is figuring it out. And I'm not here to tell you what to do with your life. I'm not here to tell you the key to living a stress-free, slow, simple life, because I don't know how to do that. I really want to. I really want to live a slow, stress-free, simple life. And maybe life will never be entirely stress-free, but I do think it's possible to slow down. And though I don't yet know how to do that, and I am still very much figuring it out, I personally always really appreciate hearing people's perspectives before they have the answers. So that's what I'm bringing to you today. I hope that this was helpful in some way. I hope that this gave you something to think about, or lit up a little light bulb in your head, I guess. I don't know. I don't really like to make videos when I don't know exactly what my point is of sharing. I really wanted to get this out today. So that's what happened. I'm not gonna keep rambling. I just want to thank you very much for listening to me ramble and receiving what I have to say, even if it's nothing new and I didn't offer any answers. I hope that you got something out of it, and I thank you deeply for receiving it anyway. Now, hopefully, I will be back soon. Sooner than 5 months. Hopefully not even a month. I don't want to be gone so long. I want to get back to this. It's just, okay, I'm ending the video. I just need to talk about one more thing before I go, and that is how I have actually sat down and tried to film other videos in this time, and it just hasn't worked. And I've found myself extremely conscious of the feeling of, oh no, people are gonna see this. I need to present myself and my thoughts in a way that people will understand, that people will accept. And all that has done for me thus far has been to shut down my brain completely. I sit down, I start to talk, and it just stops. It doesn't go anywhere. I feel so much pressure to find the right words that no words come at all. And man, I just don't want to be concerned about other people's perceptions of me anymore. So hopefully it won't be long until you see me again, and I can practice letting that shit go. All right, I'm done now. I love you for sticking around this long if you have. And yeah, thank you again. I will see you hopefully very soon. Bye. All of fuck. And okay, I can do this. I've got my crystals, 2 of them, to keep me grounded. Oh, and I'm wearing one too. Where was I going with that sentence? God, I've got to get this anxious energy out of my body. So hi, fuck. Most recent, I don't know what you'd call it, How many times can I say time in this video? Fuck. Anyway, a lot of people might hear that and be like, well, I don't know. Do I care? Do I care what people think? Anyway,